Efrain Schunior.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm known for butchering last names, so I wanted to make sure. How are you? Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm great. I'm excited to be here.
Welcome to From Another Zero. So, before we start and discuss today's topic, which is an awesome festival that's coming up in Los Angeles, we love LA. Tell me a little bit about your story, how theater came to you. You came to theater,
Wow.
all that jazz.
Um, I was always a really theatrical child, I guess. I always wanted to be an actor, but when I saw my first play when I was maybe 8 years old, I was sold. And I volunteered at my Las Cruces community theater, my local community theater where I'm
Hmm.
from,
Hmm.
when I was 14. And the very first show, I ran the thunder. I like clapped the big
Oh,
like sheet metal thunder.
big job right there.
I know. I was living. I was living.
Will be
And ever since then, yeah, I've just been involved in theater and production my whole life. I gave up the dreams of being an actor really early. I realized I wanted to direct and
Mhm.
stage manage and sound design and light design. So that's my story.
That's amazing. What play was this?
The first play the one I did the sheet metal for was a play called Approaching Zanzibar, which
Okay.
was a silly play, but I was really excited to be there.
Uh-huh. And you're from Las Cruces, New
Hmm.
Mexico.
Hmm.
Wow. And how's that journey coming to LA?
I came to LA to go to UCLA and I got my MFA in directing. And I I appreciate Las Cruces now, now that I'm so much older and I go back and visit. I love it now. But at
Hmm.
the time, I think I'm a big city person. I really wanted to be in the big city and I really wanted to work in theater, like make a living in theater.
Hmm.
So it's really almost impossible to do that, in a small town like that. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
In a small town like that. So in it, generally speaking, Efrain, can you make a living through theater?
You can. There are some people that do. John Lawrence Rivera directs all of the time. He makes a living. I run a theater program at a place called Home, so I'm making my living technically in education, but it's also theater, and I'm
Mhm.
teaching teenagers to do theater, and we get to put on our productions, and then that affords me an opportunity to sound design freelance and to produce freelance. But yeah, so I feel like everything that I do in my daily life is artistic, and it would be impossible to do that in my small town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. I get it. Before we go to a place called Home, I love that, how that sounded. Um, you also do sound design?
I do, yeah.
Oh,
I
wow.
actually the most exciting thing, I just participated in the Latinx Theater Commons Collaboratorio. They brought in 40 designers and directors from all over the country, all Latinx, and
Mhm.
we paired up into teams and we spent 5 days discussing new theater collaboration styles. And it was really, really exciting, unprecedented to have that many Latina directors and designers in a room, in a space, just able to create. And I went as a sound designer, and it was really one of the best experiences of my life.
Oh, wow.
Um, yeah, so it's reignited lately my passion for sound design. And we here at a place called Home, which is a community center in South Central. I teach a sound design class to teens. We have full QLab licenses, and we aim to have them by the end of the semester excited and confident that they can have a career in sound design if they wanted. At least they know the software really well.
I would say stereotype or the assumption usually with the youth, right? And with theater is that they want to be on stage. They want to
Hmm.
become a star, right?
Hmm.
And no, I mean, there are many, right? But there are a lot of them that are interested in stage management, sound design, those types of things. Do you encounter that in your teaching?
Yeah, I encounter more that than the kids who want to be a star. I feel like we
That's
are here in South Central where a lot of times kids aren't allowed to shine, so they
awesome.
don't have that aspiration to be a star. And when they realize like there's 500 other things to do in the theater where I don't have to be on the stage, then they start to get interested. They get excited. But then, you always have the kids who are like born to be on the stage
Yeah.
and they know right away. But we have, I think, more. kids here that are the festival that we're going to talk about is entirely produced by myself and teenagers. So we have
Oh,
kids running our lights, our sound, producing. There's kids who have directed pieces that will be in our like our side room in the virtual experience. So we have a lot of like technically gifted kids.
oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Because you have it in your bio. I love this quote that as a first generation college graduate, you hope to steer young people towards the enthusiastic understanding that they have the capacity to change the world with their voice and their story.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
using that? I love it.
Well,
We need
it's,
that. We need it.
they in high school, I think they discover that they have a voice, but I don't think, at this point in time where we are right now in the industry, I think that there's so much room for brown stories, and I'm confident that we can create moving forward post-pandemic, a new way to do things and new stories to tell. And you can understand that you have a voice, but to understand that your voice can change the world is a big thing to step into. So I try to help them realize, like, no, you're cool, and your story is really important. And yeah.
Oh my
So
God, that's amazing.
yeah.
So the third annual El Centro del Sur Latinx Theater Festival, Tu
Yeah.
Hogar. I love
Mhm.
it. So the third one, you said you brought it together with these kids. What does it look like? Where is it going to be at? You talked about a online aspect, because I saw a couple of them. I think in the first one I saw a
Mhm.
few online shows. Is that going to be also available this year? How did you put the plays together? How did that look?
Well, thank you. Thank you for asking. The third annual El Centro del Sur Latinx Theater Festival. We started in 2020. We visioned this festival as being a weekend long curation of really great Latina theater and bringing it free of charge to our South Central community, because there's really nothing to do in this area. There's no movie theaters, there's no
Really?
bookstores, there's no live music venues. It's really a shame. So we have this space and we try to open it up as often as possible to the community. And I really wanted quality programming, really good theater here that was important and was interesting to the community. So we got funding from the NEA that first year. They gave us a generous grant to put on this festival. And then, of course, COVID, and we had to go virtual.
Mhm.
And then the second year, we were still closed. And so we had sort of a soft in-person event. It was like people were distanced in the seats. It wasn't exactly how we wanted it.
Mhm.
So this year's the first time we're able to do it as we envisioned, with a block party element on Saturdays. But it runs September 14th through the 17th,
Mhm.
for Thursday night, Friday night, all day Saturday, all day Sunday,
Mhm.
with curated content. We have our long-term collaborators, Company of Angels, coming in to do opening night. Skylight Theaters on Friday with La Egoista. We have our own teams doing their production of Boda Lands on Saturday. And Jesus Ivalles, we're bringing him in to do his really fantastic production on Documents on Saturday night. And Sunday, we have our alumni members doing a stage reading of Jesus's play Spread at noon.
Mhm.
LA Real by About Productions at 3. And we're closing the whole thing with The Diary of Anne Frank Latinx from Stan Zimmerman and Pop-Up Playhouse on Sunday night. So it was a labor of love curating all of this stuff. I got to see a lot of theater early in the year
Mhm.
and just try to find plays that were interesting and fit the theme of tu hogar, your place, your home.
Mhm.
So yeah, in different ways, whatever that means, whatever it
Yeah.
means to have a place to be and to have a home.
Wow. So the Diary of Anne Frank, for example,
Mhm.
Latinx, it's the piece itself with, Latin American actors.
Yeah, mostly Latinx cast. The Diary of Anne Frank in particular has run several times throughout the last year or two around Los Angeles, and it's been very very well received. And it reframes the idea of running from someone who's hunting you based on who you are, So obviously, we in this community in particular, ICE is a big threat, especially back, COVID sort of kept us all in our homes anyway, but ICE, ICE was a big threat. Uh,
Mhm.
it still continues to be, the fear of it still continues to resonate throughout the community. So it really reframes that story. So we're super excited. That's our closing night event. Yeah, we're very excited about that one. And I think when you were talking about seeing online shows, you saw Chicano's Cholas de Chisme, right? That
Oh my
was,
God, I love them.
oh
Yes.
my God, so do I. I love them so much. We worked with Casa 0101 in that year, that first year. I'd love to have them back. They're great. But
Oh, yes.
this year we're doing a fully in-person festival. It's the festival with a block party on Saturday. The virtual reality. So our teens directed a play last semester, like
Mhm.
a 360 camera. So we have like these virtual reality headsets. So
Wow.
you'll put them on and you'll be able to like walk around in the play that they did. And it's
Uh-huh.
really, yeah, that's our little virtual reality installation. That's also in our next room. But yeah, there's a lot
Oh,
going on that weekend.
yeah, it's packed. And that's exciting for people that, because that's the other thing you think, oh, LA, right? And like one, but you said like geographically, where are you guys at? And how is the situation that there's no libraries or, movie theaters or things like that? Like, what's your day-to-day look like in that?
We are situated on Central Avenue at 29th Street. So we're
Mhm.
right in the historic Central Avenue area. Um, it's a real shame. If you wanted to go, these kids, if they want to go to the movies, they have to bus themselves downtown to downtown LA. There's nowhere to hang out. There's nothing to do. It's a real it's a residential community. It's kind of like but it's a cultural wasteland. And we have the Central Avenue Jazz Festival every year.
Mhm.
And so the section of Central that we're in is considered historic, so it's meant to be preserved. But what I'd love to see our space open up for the theater festival every year, for movies every weekend, or at least a couple times a month. And I'd like to give them something to do, the kids, the teens,
Mhm.
because if you don't have anything to do, then you can get in trouble. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah. What are the age ranges of the kids that participate over there?
A place called Home Services, 8 to 22-year-olds. We bring them in at 8 years, but in the fourth grade area. We have our middles and our littles set campus, which is across the street. The teens, when they are in high school, move over to our campus, the Bridge Theater, and that's sort of like the teen center. And when they graduate high school, once they graduate, they're able to have access to scholarship services and all of our counseling services here until they're 22. So we also have a really what's the word I'm looking for? A really robust scholarship program through the Shaheens, who are generous donors here, and
Oh,
they donate thousands and thousands every year to help our teens get to and through college without debt. So yeah,
wow.
our teens we have a 98% college graduation rate. So it's exciting.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You know, the power of theater and the performing arts. Come on.
Or at just a place called home in general, because not everybody does theater, but we've found our little cohort.
Yep.
We're employing 4 teenagers this year to run our lights, our sound. All of our plays are fully closed captioned, so we've spent months subtitling everything, and we have a teen running all of the captions live. We have a teen who's our box office manager. She's very excited. Yeah. Yeah, so it's like on the job skills, and it's like theatrical training. So yeah.
Wow. It is totally training because then they don't know like what they should do or how,
Hmm.
and it's a business. So all the aspects of the
Hmm.
business are important to know. So if people want to go, each play the ticket is $10, which you can't argue with that. And then you can do a 7-play pass for $50. And you could up it up, and support with a VIP festival pass, which is a VIP seating for all the performances and 7 concessions items. That's exciting.
Yeah, yeah. You'll
$100.
get a little punch card that you'll get a free concession item for every play, and then we'll have a little reserved seating area like right in the front and center for anybody
Mhm.
who gets the VIP pass. But
That's
yes.
awesome. So if people want to know, want to figure it out, want to learn more, It's apch.org/El Centro del Sur. I mean, it's pretty easy peasy. What would you like the community, aside from supporting, with their money, but also their time and coming to see the shows and the performances? What else would what other needs do you all have over there?
I really wanted, we when we were dreaming this festival, we really wanted the LA theater community to see our space. Our space is wonderful. We have state-of-the-art sound and video and lighting. We have a beautiful lighting grid that our technical coordinator, Colton, has been really working hard on. I really wanted the LA theater community to engage with our space because it sits open for much of the day, and we have room for rehearsal. We'd love to bring in people who need rehearsal space. That the space functionality is what I really wanted to show off, but also to engage with the community and to see these incredible teenagers, these very capable teenagers, their work. Because some of every spring we have what we call the Ghost Light Showcase, which is our teen actors. We try to invite as much industry as possible to see these graduating seniors, how talented they are, and we really want to propel them forward in their careers if they choose a career in acting or tech. We want to help them as much as we can because of course we have our scholarship program through college, but the actor lifestyle looks very different, when you graduate high school. And for the teens who participate in our Ghost Light Showcase, we give them full actors access, casting accounts, and we really try to help them out in their first year or two in the industry. So I'd really love the LA theater community to know that we exist as a space, support our community, come see our shows, come see our teens. And also the shows are really top notch this year. So it's quality programming.
Oh, I love it. What's coming up for you next, Efrain?
So after the festival, we'll take a much needed 2 or 3 days off, maybe a week. And then we're going to start working on another play that will perform in May. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to take this play to the June Hollywood Fringe Festival. So my vision to get the kids to the festival was derailed because of the pandemic, but now we're back on track. We spent one night in June watching 4 different plays, and they're like obsessed with this Fringe Festival idea. So hopefully we can rehearse it, get it ready to go, and then just transfer it over to theater in Hollywood for a weekend or so. Yeah.
Oh, that would be that would change so many things. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would be, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. But yeah, we have a lot coming up the pipeline. We have a middle school play. Oh, we also have like a whole littles and middles theater group, and they're working on their play. Yeah. So we have a lot going on here.
Yeah. That's amazing. Well, guys, check it out. Support, go on their social media as well. Like everything there, help the algorithm. And I hope, it's hard for me to go up to LA. I try. I just saw Crabs in a Bucket by
Oh my God, I loved Crabs in a Bucket.
I loved it too.
We tried to get them as part of the festival, so that would have been such an easy transfer because their stage that they performed on is very similar to our layout. So it would have, the block, and we including the center aisle up the stairs. So it would have been such an easy transfer, but one of their cast had another commitment, and they wanted to do it as a unit, of course. But what a good show! I loved that show.
Me too. I love that show, and I didn't know about Bernardo, and then I saw it and I was like, and then we had some social media interaction, and he's like, oh, a paisa coming to see the show, and I'm like, yeah, so yeah, it was great, and I think that's how we should come together like this because it's theater. It's all the same 11 people everywhere.
I know. Yeah. I love that show. It was so good. We have over 4 Latinx creators all said and done with directors and actors and our teens. We have so many Latinx creators as part of this festival. So I wish Crabs in a Bucket could have been a part of it. I loved that show so much. One of my favorites that I've seen in a very long time. So,
yeah, maybe there's maybe a pin on it, and you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're here. That's the thing. And people also need to know that we are hella creative, and we're out there. And congratulations, because this is a big, big, big effort that not, anybody is willing to dive in, and because of all the challenges that we have around, as a society, with everything that's happening in the economy, inflation, theater is always the one that boop, or the performing arts, or the arts in general is the ones that, we can put that in it makes such a difference in life in general, for decision making, for just your heart, how you feel, and more people need to know that and support that.
Yeah, I think that we're having a really difficult time coming back from pandemic, as an art form, as the performing arts, major theaters are closing. So yeah, it's a scary time, but it's also a really good time to reimagine what we can do in the future. And so, but we can't do it without the support, the audience,
Exactly.
We need the audience. Yeah.
Yeah, but the push is there. So that's like the first step. So hopefully we can bring some more eyes over there and more people to get to know you guys. I will make the effort also to try and go and catch at least one show. So
we'll get you a festival pass. We'll be happy to give you a festival pass.
Yes. I'm honored. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And we asked our guests when we close our interviews, our platform is called From Another Zero, because they always tell you, oh, you have to start from zero. And that is not necessarily the case, because you have your tools, your experience. So it's from another zero. It's like your zero. So can you share with us what have been your zeros? I would say that coming from Las Cruces to LA is one, working with the youth, maybe another. What would be your other zeros?
I had to start from a place of understanding my identity first, because when I was in Las Cruces, as being Las Cruces is majority Latinx, Mexican, and so I never felt like another, until I moved to LA. When I moved to LA, I realized, I'm brown, and that's how people see me. And so it was really a jarring experience. So I had to start from a place of understanding my identity and where I fit into the world, where I fit in. So that was my huge touchstone. And I always go back to that. And that's what being at a place called home gave me a lot of opportunity to reimagine my high school years, and to see it from that perspective. Because when I got here, it was a big existential moment. Like, who am I? The way people are looking at me is not how I see myself, So once I understood who I was, and once I started to get comfortable with my identity and my cultural heritage, my heritage, my family, everything like that, then I was able to kind of step into my own grace, I guess. But yeah.
That's a big zero. And that's amazing how you put it that's very important about going back, That's in order to get, again, grounded, centered, focused. I'm going to write it down over here, because it's important. It's really important, because you get lost sometimes in this chaotic world. I want to thank you. Oh yeah. Go ahead.
No. I was about to thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for making time. Yeah, thank you, everybody that made this happen. And I hope this is a great success. And I hope that I can meet you in person really soon.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much.